In today's video, I'm gonna tell you about the new motorcycle I bought, why I bought a motorcycle, and how I'm gonna carry this thing on my rig. What is going on YouTube? Greetings from cold, wet Missouri. I'm here at my mother's house. The sun's actually coming up right now, so maybe we'll have a pretty sunrise here behind me. But the reason I made this video is, I got a motorcycle. Before I talk about the specific motorcycle I have and how I'm gonna carry this thing on my rig, let me go into why I got a motorcycle in the first place. So you'll remember when I was looking for an RV, I decided on a van because it gave me the most mobility compared to other RVs, and that's been mostly true. I can go almost anywhere. I feel comfortable driving this thing in cities, and it's no issue trying to find a parking spot. It's actually pretty easy. But there was still a lack of mobility in certain situations. To and from campsites is no issue, but once I find a great spot on national forest or BLM land, or a great spot hooked up at a campsite, that's where it gets a little bit tricky, and it's a little bit more difficult to be mobile. When I find a sweet spot on BLM land or national forest land, I don't really want to break camp and potentially lose that spot to go on a hike that's only about a mile away, or to go find some groceries, or to go explore the surrounding areas. And when I'm on full hookups at a campground, it's kind of a pain to have to unhook everything to go get groceries or go explore. I had a mountain bike, but that range is kind of limited, not only by time, but how much physical ability I have to go somewhere. The last campsite I was at, DC, was 50 miles away. Riding a bike to DC wasn't really feasible. I thought about an e-bike, but that too is sort of limiting. So I decided to try to find a street legal motorcycle that I could carry on a hitch carrier. And that led me to my 2020 Honda Grom. So let's talk about the motorcycle. Okay, let's talk about why the Honda Grom over other models of motorcycle. And it comes down to one word: numbers. The biggest number being the weight of the bike. This bike comes in at 229 pounds wet. That's really, really, really light for a street legal motorcycle. The hitch on my RV is rated to carry 350 pounds. So this bike is way under that number. My hitch carrier is actually 36 pounds. So together it's under 260 pounds. I have about 90 pounds to play with on the amount of weight the hitch can hold. The next number is miles per gallon. This thing right here gets 134 miles to the gallon. So it's a great way to inexpensively explore the surrounding area where I'm camped at. And the final number is the price. This thing is only about $3,200, brand new. You can find them used anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. So the price was really right for me as well. All right, let me show you how I'm gonna carry this on the back of my rig. Okay, so I wanted a motorcycle, but one of my big requirements was that I didn't have to tow it on a trailer. I wanted to be able to mount it on the hitch. So for that to be possible, the hitch and my bike needed to be under 350 pounds. I mentioned before, my hitch can only hold 350 pounds, and I didn't want to be anywhere close to that. I'm gonna mitigate some of the weight on the hitch, and I'll show you how I did that in a second. I've got my van parked a little bit on a hill. I found it easier to get the bike up onto the rack that way, so let me show you. So behind here is a little ramp for the bike. So basically, you just hook it on like this. All right, so I've got a bunch of straps here. I have these Rhino straps. I heard a lot of good things about them. I saw them on Nomadic Fanatics channel, actually. You can get these on Amazon as well. I'll put links to all this stuff, this Black Widow carrier and this kind of thing on Amazon if you want to go and check it out. So these are what I'm going to use. I also have some tie-down straps that I'm also going to use. Doing this by yourself is not the easiest thing, so you definitely want to put safety precautions in place. So one thing I like to do is I like to put the handlebar straps on before I put the bike up there. And one reason is so the bike doesn't tip over. So what I'm gonna do is get one of these straps ready to go so I can hook it up right away to the side of my bike that is next to the van, so it'll keep it snug against the van and it won't tip over. So it's ready to go. All right, if something bad's gonna happen, it's gonna happen right now. So make sure you keep your eyes on the video. If I drop this bike, I'm gonna get all kinds of views. I like to get a running start to do this. Woo! You almost saw me lose it there. One of the things about downhill is you gotta make sure you keep a hold of the bike or it'll go right off. All right, so now that I'm here, like I mentioned, if I just let the bike go, it's gonna fall over. So I've already got this strap up here, ready to go, and I can hook it on to this side of the handlebar. All right, so that's hooked in. Now let me just crank it down. Okay, now that I've got this one attached, we're gonna go ahead and attach the other handlebar. As you see, it's like stable on here. You don't want to crank down on the handlebar too much until you get the other one hooked up. Now that I've got the first straps put on, I'm going to take some of the pressure off the hitch. So I bought some of these things here. They're what rock climbers use to bolt to a rock and then hook themselves into. Well, I hooked those up here. I screwed them in here. So now I have these little, these little anchors here, and I'm gonna hook straps up to take some of the weight off of the hitch carrier. If you're enjoying this video, please hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment below telling me where you're watching from. The YouTube algorithm will show this video to more people the more thumbs up and the more comments I have. So I appreciate you doing that. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my weekly videos. And then just crank down a little bit on this, not too much, but just enough to take some of the weight off of the hitch. Even though I'm up below, I still worry about something happening to the hitch. So I figured the more precaution I can take, the better. So have this thing hooked up and taking some of that weight off the hitch. Let me put the other one on. There we go. Not only are these providing a little bit more support for the hitch, they're also kind of pulling the bike into the rig, which I like. So if one of these goes, they're still done to the rig somehow. There's a little bit of support. Okay, lastly, I'm gonna use some tie downs to make this more secure. So I just have a bunch of various different ones that I use on the rig. For me, the more tie down points, the better. All right, I think we're pretty secure and we're ready to hit the road. I'm actually headed up to Forest City, Iowa to get some warranty work done on my rig. Okay, so I made it to Forest City, Iowa. It took me 8 hours. It was over 400 miles. And as you can see, my bike stayed on my rig, so that's great. So yeah, so tell me what you think of the bike. Tell me what you think of how I'm carrying it. Do you think I should have got the bike? Should I have stayed with my mountain bike? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. And if you like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. See you next week where I talk about the warranty work I'm gonna get done at Winnebago. See you soon.
Filling out my cup, coffee talk on the screen porch. So in love, now you're the one I'm losing sleep for. And I hope the wrong one slip right through your magic fingers. And I hope we find some way to fall in love like we were. Yeah, you're